Alright, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at problem number 3 here. Let's number our equations 1, 2, and 3. Let's check and make sure that we have a column of x's, a column of y's, a column of z's, and the constants are all on the right-hand side. We're going to use this chart that Mrs. Chambers made for us to try to tackle and get this solution. What I suggest that you always do is in equation 2, eliminate the variable with a coefficient of 1. So I'm going to pick to eliminate x if I'm using this chart. Alright, so this chart tells me to use equations 1 and 2. In equation 1, I have 1x. In equation 2, I have 1x. So I'm going to multiply equation 2 by negative 1. So let's write down equation 1 exactly as is. 1x plus 2y minus 1z. I guess I didn't copy it exactly as is because I put 1's in there to help me out. Now, if I multiply everything by negative 1, I'm going to change the sign of all of these terms. So this is all addition, so all of these now become subtraction. And on the right-hand side, I have a negative 7. When I add these two equations together, the x's are eliminated, which is what I wanted. Alright, so now I have this new equation. Now I'm going to move on to column 2. I want to still eliminate the same variable, so I'm going to eliminate x. But this time I'm going to use equations 2 and equations 3 to do it. Since I chose that one that had the 1 there, it's going to be easy for me to now make this 1 a negative 2 because here I have a positive 2. So I'm going to take that second equation and multiply everything by negative 2. I've got negative 2x minus 6y minus 4z is equal to negative 14. Equation 3 I'm going to copy down as is. Well, almost as is, because I'm going to put a 1 in front of the z so I don't make a silly error. The x's are eliminated. So happens that the y's are also eliminated. That's kind of nice. Don't let that confuse you. Negative 14 plus 8 is a negative 6. And if I divide both sides by a negative 3, I get that z is equal to positive 2. Now, although it says to do elimination, I don't really need to do that. I can plug in the number I just found into this previous equation. So I can jump over here and I can say that I have this equation, negative 1y minus 3. But I know what z is now. Alright, so let's solve this equation for y. If I add 6 to each side, I have that negative 1 times y is equal to 0, which means that y has to be 0. So now that I have two of the three, remember, I'm trying to find x, y, and z. We found y to be 0 and z to be 2. So let's come back to equation 2 and figure out what x is. So I've got equation 2 says x plus 3y but I know y to be 0. I'm pretty good at multiplying by 0. We found z to be positive 2. Now remember, this is equation 2. So yeah, I just have to make sure that I'm copying that down. So I've got x plus 4, because this guy is just 0. Subtract 4, or just recognize that 3 plus 4 is 7. So I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you later.